All right, man. Look, like always, this shit happens. Honestly, and I'm saying this very seriously, I don't think people understand. Like all bullshit aside, how powerful these oil companies are. I don't think people understand. They literally have two of our only major political parties bought out. Right? They haven't bought out. They have most of the, if not all, of the major news outlets bought out. They give them a lot of money for commercials and shit. In fact, with websites like Google, if you've ever noticed, whenever you search something on Google, the first two, three searches will say ad, paid for, right? If you search about this pipeline, you'll run into a bogus website called Dakota Access Pipeline FactChecker.com. And it gives you a bunch of bogus, just stupid shit. I looked at it and I'm like, just with common sense alone, half of this shit makes no sense. Right? Just with common sense alone. I'm hearing people make claims about this fucking pipeline that just are flat out not true. But it's a narrative that the oil companies want to put out there, right? Because they want at least half of the public, because this is what we've become, right? Somebody just needs to make a claim, and then you have one side of you have people say, well, this the oil company says that. I don't know. I guess we'll call it even. No, we're not going to call shit even, right? Number one, this bogus website, all you have to do is just use your common sense, right? Just the other day, I did a video titled, Let's Talk Pipeline Leaks and Ruptures. In the year 2016 alone, just look how many ruptures there were. It's not even funny. Homes destroyed, people injured, people killed. That's just the year 2016. We just had one early December. It's not these things aren't rare. The media just doesn't blow it up. That's all it is. They're in the tank with the oil companies. I don't know what to tell you. They don't blow these stories up, right? But we know they're happening. They're recorded. The same company that is building the pipeline or attempting to build this pipeline right now in North Dakota, one of their pipelines ruptured in Pennsylvania into a river. So this idea that they never leak, it's not true. You guys not remember the big fucking rupture over there in the Gulf a couple years ago? And it just fucked up people's, drinking water? Here's my thing with water. It's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable to me. There's but it's a sliver of a chance that something will happen. There's already existing pipelines. So your answer to existing pipelines is just put more pipelines. Who benefits from these pipelines? The oil companies. So why wouldn't they make up bogus websites to put out bogus facts about, the pipelines and how they're so vital? They never explain why they're vital. They never explain that. Say vital, important. And then they give these bogus claims. No, but this pipeline isn't really it's not in the reservation. No, it's not in the reservation. It's in private property. Excuse me? Private property. It's in our Army Corps land, yes, right? But at the end of the day, make no mistake about it, just ask yourself this very important question. You just need common sense for this. That's all you need. First of all, why would this the builders of this pipeline, why would they disclose the dangers of a pipeline? Why would they? They have no incentive to. Well, that'll be stupid. Of course they're going to say they're safe and this, that, and the third. Of course they are, right? Even though you could go back to the record, right? This company has over 200 cases of pipelines either leaking, rupturing, right? Leaking or rupturing, right? So there was another one, but either way, you get what I'm saying. Because there's a difference between a leak, even an explosion, okay, in some cases, right? And obviously a rupture. All those are different facts, or situations, that is. But they're all very important. They're all very important. You should see the way they work this shit. Oh yeah, the Army engineers and the Army Corps of Engineers and the oil company, they had over 300 meetings, and the natives just wouldn't show up. They were just stalling the whole thing. They refused to take part in. They say that in one case, and in another instance, they say no, they were part of the negotiations. See, this is where you get some truth, and you just turn it into some form of, universal fact that isn't really a fact. The natives never said, "Yeah, go ahead, just build a fucking pipeline." They never said that. How could you argue in one hand it's not really their land, so they have no say, and then in the other hand argue, no, that they were there in the negotiation, that they totally were all for this? How could you argue both things at the same time? You can't. Logically, use your head, people. You can't argue those two same things at the same time. You can't. We're going to get to some more lies later, but first the pipeline. It's not just about standing rock. Right? And for anybody who says, well, I don't give a fuck what happens over there. These pipelines are being built everywhere. They're being built absolutely everywhere. And they get the green light to build them anywhere they want. Anywhere they want. All right? Absolutely anywhere they want. It doesn't matter if you own a farm and they build it. Who cares? Eminent domain, baby. That's all it takes. The government said it's okay. Keep in mind that this idea, this false narrative, because that's what it is, that the native tribe said, oh yeah, totally, we're 100% for this pipeline, and then turned around when the pipeline was being built and decided to protest it, to the point of getting hit with rubber bullets, to the point of getting hit with tear gas, to the point of, getting attacked by attack dogs, to the point of having stun grenades thrown at them. Why would they just randomly do that? For what? If they agreed to it. And if it's true that they agreed to it, why did Obama need to approve the final permit? If everything was already agreed to, what's with this final permit that had to be signed in? See, all this from the oil companies is just a bunch of bullshit, okay? That factchecker.com one thing, right? The one from the Dakota Access facts that you need to know bullshit. If you look it up, when you really look into it, it comes from the actual, a website built by the oil company, right, to advocate for this pipeline being built. And it's in their About page. And it links you to this bogus-ass website, which they have paid Google, which they can do because they got the money to put it on the very top whenever you look up facts about the pipeline. But let me tell you something. We live in an age of smartphones and cameras, and they keep saying that the protesters were being violent. Do they have any video evidence of this? Any at all? Do they? No, they don't have anything. They have not provided any video evidence of protesters doing the things that they claim protesters were doing. But some of these things are possible, right? But there was a guy, a plant by the oil company, okay? They had a plant there, and he was exposed to be a plant of the oil company. They were trying to make him out to be armed, rebelled, protesters or what have you, which it just wasn't the case. Let me tell you something. Do they have any evidence of a police officer being injured? Do they have any evidence of a police officer that went to the hospital? Do they have body cams to show that this happened? That it was just these protesters just being violent? No, you know what I saw? The only thing I saw from all the footage available is protesters holding up peace signs while they're getting hit with pepper spray. All I saw were protesters holding up shields that they were getting hit with rubber bullets. That's all I saw. That's the only thing I saw from militarized police, which, by the way, I don't trust militarized police because police are not trained to be military. They're not. Police are trained to be little pussies, scared of everything, and just take absolutely zero risk. And if you think your life is at risk, and that is a very open question, that could be left up to interpretation. All it takes is for the officer to say, I felt I was threatened, my life was in danger, and they could just shoot. In this case, it was rubber bullets. That's good. And then you have all these bogus claims. No. We have an expert that came out and said these were not the sacred lands. Yeah, your expert said that. Yeah, of course they did. I mean, this is the oldest trick in the book, right? Okay, oldest trick in the book. No. An expert came out. He said that they're not really their sacred lands. They're making it up. They're just making it up. They're just going to make that shit up. Who's going to go protect a mountain, right? Just for the sake of it. Like for what reason? You know, some people lost their vision, okay, protesting this shit. A lady lost her arm. Right? I saw pictures of people bloodied up and shit, attacked by dogs. I saw a video of it. Just to protect, they were just pretending that this was a sacred land. They're just pretending. That's all it is. It's all for show. Because they got nothing better to do. It is unbelievable to me, especially in an age where everybody has conspiracies about everything. I mean, they got conspiracies up the ass about absolutely everything. That they can't see this. Like, they can't see that these oil companies, number one, you could track it. You can see, you can actually look at congressmen, senators. You could look at their investments, right? You could look at where they get money from. It's from big oil, not just big oil. There's other big funders out there like Wall Street, and they're out there, right? The big oil has a lot of power. Big oil doesn't want vehicles that need little gasoline. They don't. They don't want. I mean, they're making their last stand right now. They know that their form of energy is going obsolete either sooner or later. They prefer that it's later. They want as many counties, cities, states, you name it, to be invested with them. That's why they want to build these pipelines, right? They're trying to secure their place right now. The most laughable claim I saw from his website was pipelines are the safest way to transport oil. Really? Tell you what, you can actually pick up the data on this. How much oil has leaked in gallons out of pipelines compared to truckers in the year 2016? Look it up, right? If a truck flips over, which could happen, roads are icy, the guy fell asleep on the wheel. Of course, this shit happens. It's not perfect, right? Flips over. How many gallons it has of whether it's gasoline, crude oil, you name it. As much as it has. It does not compare to a pipeline rupturing. Okay, it just doesn't. There's no comparison. Okay, is that an inconvenience? Can somebody get hit in the road? Of course that can happen. Of course. But it's this idea that it's the safest way to transport gasoline or oil or anything like that. It's a bunch of horseshit. It's not true. It's not. Of course, why would someone trying to build a pipeline say otherwise? Of course, there's a conflict of interest there. Of course, they're going to say, yeah, totally. This is the best way to do it. Of course they are. So that's what's going on here, man. There's a lot of misinformation. But you know what's funny? Even in their articles with all their misinformation, you can still look at that and say, well, at the end of the day, if they don't want it, they don't want it. You know, I mean, it's just at the end of the day, if they don't want it, they don't want it, right? If you don't get the permit to do it, then tough shit, you don't get the permit to do it. You know, they have no grant. They don't own our land. They don't have like a right to build a pipeline. Okay, it's not like a must. It's not like they don't have a right to do it, and that's how they present it. They present it like it's their right to build pipelines wherever they want. You know, nobody could just say, no, we're not going to grant you a permit to do it. No, you got to do it. What do you mean you're not going to grant us a permit to do it? This is vital. It's a must. No. Like, if you don't get a permit to do it, then you don't get a permit to do it. That's it. That's life, right? If you don't have permission to do it, then you don't get to do it. Okay, that's the way of the wind. Okay. You don't have, as an oil company, you don't have a right to way, even if you don't have a permit. I mean, think about it. It's common sense. Why are you asking for a permit? Because you want permission to do it, right? So whoever's giving you that permit doesn't have to give it to you. So how about this? No permit. Okay, no permit. I don't care what quote-unquote expert you pay off to go say that those aren't really their sacred lands. I don't care how many articles you buy out on Google, okay, to put on bogus-ass websites with no real sources, with no source material whatsoever. None. Just putting on, and we could definitely link to where these bogus-ass websites come from. Dakota Access Pipeline, factchecker.com. I couldn't stop laughing reading that shit. Shit I've ever seen in my life. It took me 5 minutes to research where this website came from. I'm like, of course, it came from them. Of course it did. Are you telling me the natives went to 55 meetings saying, yes, we're 100% for this pipeline, and just turned around and just started protesting against you for no reason? What? That doesn't even sound right. Okay, that doesn't even sound correct. And then on the other hand, you argue, but they have no say anyway. So let me get this straight. Do they or do they not have a say, according to you? And if they do have a say, you want me to believe that they agreed multiple times, 100%, and they made you the victim, and now, they decided, no, we're not going to allow it. This is ridiculous. I mean, this is beyond insane. And all you need is your common sense for this. That's all you need. If they're telling the truth, right? Because who's against them? They're acting like it's them against the world or some shit. The governor of North Dakota is on their side. The police in North Dakota are on their side, right? I mean, they got everybody on their side. The media wasn't reporting shit about it. Okay, so they got the media, mainstream media on their side. They got money on their side. They're like, who's against them? That's this little itty bitty little defenseless tribe that was saying, hey, we don't want you to build here. And they go through this entire propaganda bullshit. That's what it is. It's to make people believe, for whatever reason, that we need to build this pipeline. This is a vital pipeline for our country, right? It's progress. We got to do it. I mean, did you guys know? This is how you know it's bullshit. Number one, just 24 miles away from where they're trying to build it now, they're going to build it near a white town. That white town said, no, we don't want it here. So then they routed it to where they're routing it now. So whenever these bullshit websites tell you, no, all North Dakota owners are all for this. No, they're not. A certain area didn't give you the permit to do it. And you thought that you could just go through this area. Just what the fuck is the fucking Native Americans going to do about it? If I get the Army Corps of Engineers to prove it, then I'm good. That's what you thought. Well, now you didn't get a permit again. Find a permit somewhere else. And if you don't get a permit, then shove the pipeline up your ass because we don't need it. What part of the pipeline is bypassing all of North Dakota? Don't people in North Dakota understand? It's not like you're getting that oil. No, that it's passing through North Dakota. It's not for you. You think it's for you? You think you're going to get all that oil? You think they're going to chuck gas prices for you because they make the pipeline? Are you that dumb? And if they have the facts on their side, why do they have to lie about what's going on? If it's the protesters, because they weren't arguing at all. That you should have heard some of the things they were saying about the protesters before cameras were actually there, right? If the police are telling the truth, why did they ban drone cameras from filming? Now you may say, well, they could be dangerous, right? No, because drone cameras caught them lying. Okay, they were caught red-handed using water cannons on people and tear gas on people. And it was clear to see. The stun grenades that they were throwing at people, they saw that it was the police weaponry that was causing the fires. It wasn't, why would the natives just randomly start fires? They have no footage of natives doing it. Why did the police create a blockade then? Why did they create a blockade in the highway to prevent media from entering, the Standing Rock location? Why? Have you asked yourself that question? Why did they go through great pains to prevent cameras from being there? Why did they go through great pains to completely misrepresent everything that's happening there? Why did they go through great pains to deny that they had water cannons? Why did they go through great pains to deny, that they had tear gas? Why did they go through these great pains to deny this shit and lie about this? Why did they threaten to arrest members of the media that were there reporting? Do we not believe in freedom of the press? They were threatening to arrest members of the media with bogus charges. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why they went through such pains to defend something that did not need defending. What were the natives going to do to the pipeline exactly? Or just the construction area? What were they going to do? Were they going to injure it or what? They were defending an object over people. That's what they were doing. And why is it that as soon as 2,000 veterans went over there, all of a sudden they backed off? All of a sudden they got rid of the razor wire. All of a sudden the roads weren't blocked anymore. Because they knew it would be a PR nightmare if they did that to 2,000 veterans. That's why. Why was the governor lying? Flat out lying. No, there was no water cannons. No, that's not true. They weren't shooting people with rubber bullets. Why did he go through such pains to lie about that? Usually the side being caught telling multiple lies is the side full of shit. The side that constantly changes its story and its narrative depending on what happens is usually the side that's full of shit. Why did so many sheriff offices, some from Montana, other areas, show up and say, what the fuck are we doing here, and left? If it was the right thing to do and this, that, and third, Why did some of them show up and the sheriff said, I have no clue what the fuck we're doing here. Let's get out of here. Why did that happen? Why? Right? I forget the name of this, whatever they call it, but for natural disasters like hurricanes and stuff like that, I mean, where it affects so many people, they have this like I forgot what it's called, but where they could call upon different areas, like different police officers from different counties, to go help, in case of an emergency like that. Why did they put that status, or whatever you want to call it, to have cops show up to this one place with unarmed protesters that were not any danger to them whatsoever? Why? For what? Could there be a protester here and there throwing a rock? Or sure, they have no video evidence of it. None. They provided no video evidence for all the claims they're making. None. I mean, there's footage of the natives on their knees praying, and they shoot rubber bullets at them. There's footage of that. Or was it stun grenades? I forget. Or was it tear gas? I don't know. I forget. Was it mace? I don't know. Not cool. Not cool. But unfortunately, many people are going to drink the Kool-Aid and not see what's happening here. They're not going to see it. I think someone told me, hey, Alex Jones, and he's for this pipeline. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't looked into it myself, okay? But I'm not going to I'm not going to go through pain to listen to Alex Jones. But apparently he's for this pipeline. He's sided with the oil company over the native tribes, right? Am I shocked? No. Because a lot of the conspiracy theories that Alex Jones puts out there about new forms of energy are the same ones that these oil companies have flooded through on the internet, right? They have paid trolls and shit. Okay, it's not like this isn't like a lot of it is projection. You know how a lot of people have like these conspiracy theories, like, oh yeah, it was all like it was all an act. They're all plants, this, that, and the third. You know what's funny? To a certain degree, it's the oil companies that actually do these things. They plant people with guns at a protest, and then it's later discovered to actually be someone that worked for this pipeline shit company, and it becomes like it's basically projection is what it is. They kind of project onto people fighting them what they actually do. Right, and it's kind of clever because they do a very good job with this. Right, so at the end of the day, fuck these pipelines. No, I don't care what. Look into it yourself. Okay, that's all I'm going to ask. Just not just Standing Rock. No, just pipelines in general. Look into it. Do we really need them? Look into it and look at where the majority of this oil goes. And the more and more people actually look into the pipelines, who's invested in the pipelines, who benefits from the pipelines, you slowly start to realize, is this really worth, risking our water, which to me is non-negotiable? Is it really worth the lives that it's cost? Is it worth the homes it's destroyed? The answer is no, not even close.